In 1910, there were about 7,000 African Americans that lived in Oklahoma City. It was a thriving community full of love and culture. But 5 years later in 1915, white city leaders were uncomfortable about the possibilities of integration into this area known as Deep Deuce. And unfortunately today, that area has no Black-owned businesses in that particular community. We lost a lot of bit of that culture. So as you can see, that community has become whitewashed. But we have taken lemons and we made Ciroc lemonade. But what other place can you find? A place you have Southern fried chicken, sweet potatoes, not yams, real macaroni and cheese, a seafood buffet with crab legs, and a place that feels like home, but it also feels like church other than Bistro 46 on Northeast 23rd and Highland Village. It's a place that when you walk in, you don't feel like you're a stranger in that home because it's food that's welcoming to everybody. Now, Miss McMillan, I call her Miss Sharon. See, Miss Sharon, they moved from Trinidad to New York City 40 years ago. 17 years ago, they moved to Oklahoma City. 11 years ago, they opened up Caracan Flavors, the only Caribbean-American, authentic Caribbean-American restaurant here in Oklahoma City. Now, what I love about it is that her mom still cooks in the kitchen. She makes those authentic Caribbean flavors. And if you want to get rid of a cold or a sinus infection, she says that you need a lot of ginger and a lot of freshly squeezed juices. But you know what you don't understand is that that's a restaurant that has a large Muslim and Jewish population that patronize that restaurant. Something you don't suspect for a restaurant that's on the east side of Oklahoma City that has been gentrified and pushed away. But there's something I also found out about Black restaurants. The rumor is that the dollar only lasts 6 hours in that community. I don't really know that to necessarily be true, but what I do know is the inspiration behind OKC Black Eats came from IC Event Center. I walked into IC Event Center. On one side, they were playing dominoes and cards. Other side, there was an a pop-up shop going on. Mark Fleming was in the back making drinks and cracking jokes. But all I could smell was that aroma of the best fried catfish you'll ever have. But black restaurateurs do another thing. They provide opportunities for entrepreneurs to build a community and hone their craft. But I had to know there's had to be other places here in Oklahoma City that provided that same type of experience. So I found friends and supporters with organizations like Stop the Violence who helped me find those other places because I knew there were more restaurants like that in Oklahoma City representing our particular culture. And I love the fact that I found more and more and more and more, and I was determined to spend my money with those restaurants and also encourage others to do so. And as you can see, those very beautiful smiling faces behind me, and one of them might be mine. So the culture is great. What we found out is, and those are my ancestors. And so the bond that we get over food is something very deep and very passionate because in that we talk about family issues and community challenges, but we also share the beautiful things about life that are going on in our lives. And we sit under shade trees and we sit in chairs and we sip sweet tea, but there might be something else in that sweet tea. And we listen to our uncle probably lying about a story from his childhood, but that's okay because that's how we bonded together as a family. And here's the key about making really good food for us. You make the same thing at Thanksgiving and you make the same thing at Easter. Because if you keep repeating itself, you will master that particular craft on that food. And you wonder why it tastes so good because we keep making the same thing. Chef Curry to Go is another example where you have a restaurant that's not on the east side of town, but he gets invited as a guest for these chef demos, but he doesn't get invited as a chef, as a featured chef. But he keeps a smile on his face, he makes great food, and just I'm proud to know that I had a part to play in his restaurant being around and thriving and pushing forward. So it's a guy that is also culinary trained as well here in Oklahoma City. Like he says, come eat, relax, and enjoy. Now everybody knows Chef Slaughter at Off the Hook. Y'all heard about that restaurant before? So he's a proud person from Spencer, Oklahoma. He and his beautiful wife, and they've come together and they made sure that they were culinary trained, but they provided a craft that made you want to come in the restaurant. See, I'm proud about the culture that we're creating as Black chefs in this community. I'm proud that we're pushing culture. I will put anybody on that screen up against any chef in this town, and I will put my money on it. But I'm here to declare today that the Black foodie scene here in Oklahoma City is here.